What's up, guys? It's Agent Derpy. I usually don't do videos like this. It's probably been a while since I've even talked in my microphone like this without any gameplay or any sort of thing like that. But I noticed that a lot of people hate the Borderlands movie even before it came out. So obviously, it's not really canonical. It's canonical to the Cinemaverse, which I appreciate that they did, because not everything lines up with the games, but I just saw it. I just saw Borderlands 2, and on my way home from the drive from the movie theater, I drew up a couple thoughts about the movie, and I just want to say I really, really like this movie. Now, I'm not going to give away spoilers immediately. I will tell you when I'm going to give away spoilers. First, I just wanted to talk about how good the characters are. Let's see. For example, Kevin Hart playing as Roland. Okay. So, when I first played Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 1, I never really liked Roland. I know I pronounced his name wrong at first, but hear me out. Kevin Hart is able to play a serious actor. In his poorly received Die Hard 2, he did pretty good with his serious scenes. And honestly, I think that he played a good part as Roland. He was pretty badass with all the action. He didn't crack as many jokes as he usually would, especially with the Die Hard movies. He cracked so many jokes in those. And honestly, I feel he was just serious enough, um, just flashy enough, just to be Roland. Now, as for Tina, obviously, um, I did not like the story that they went with. And honestly, I hope that if they do end up making a second movie, they will address certain things and say that some of these things were lies that was, like fed into her head and stuff, which obviously I will cover over when I'm going to be talking about the on when I'm talking about the spoiler stuff. Obviously, as you can see, Tiny Tina, she is white, and the Ariana girl, she is obviously Latino, which the well Latina, sorry, she's Latina, which obviously is not what Tiny Tina was. But I honestly don't see a problem with that. I don't think that they were trying to force her character in any way to I don't know what the word would be, wash over her race or anything like that. I think that's perfectly fine. I think her mannerisms and slang that she used with the character, and especially the little aspects of insanity that was added, was good touches and really made sense for the character. Also, I'm glad they talked about Badonka Donk. I'm going to get into a post from the New York Times that really, really sent me over the edge. We're gonna move on from Tina. We're gonna move over to Jamie Lee Curtis, who played as Tannis. And let's just say, I don't hate the red glasses. I feel like they're enough to fit as a replacement for the goggles. I don't like how in a flashback they had her with black hair, and when they jump back forward in time, that she had gray hair. So obviously they made Tannis old, and I do not really appreciate that. But I do appreciate her ability to replicate Tannis's actions. So, for example, her unsociability, I guess, her being a little bit of a weirdo genius, kind of complimenting on how people do certain things. and kind of just not picking up on social cues. I like that. Marcus, this dude, I feel he played him great. You could really see that he was kind of like the helpful con man kind of guy. I like how he talked about the guns because honestly, the guns in Borderlands are pretty iconic. So I like that he kind of pointed some of those out. I like how they had Lilith riding in the van with him. That was a nice little touch. And how he was insistent on that she was a Vault Hunter. Now I'm going to move over to, I'm going to say, probably one of the best actors in this, and it's going to be Krieg. Um, Krieg, the actor who played him, great. They had his physique right. They had his little just spouts off about random stuff that psychos would just talk about. And also feel like they gave him the human side that he needed, especially when it came to Tina and stuff like that. And overall, they showed him in a really badass light, and he felt like a pretty unstoppable force, as he should, because he's a huge psycho. Moxie, I feel they did her character very well. Because honestly, I want to say, in the prequel game, she helped you out a lot, and it kind of felt like the prequel game in this. She did flirt, and not enough to where it would like intentionally ruin the character. And I appreciate that a lot. They stayed true to her character. They stayed true to a lot of the characters. And speaking of staying true to characters, um, the bandits. I like how everyone doesn't all have the same mask. Obviously, some of them have the uh, regular psycho mask with the vault symbol on it, but other people have like skulls or like animal skulls on, and some of them have like similar like marauder type masks, and I think that's pretty dope. I feel like there was a lot of bandits to really cover how many enemies that they would actually be fighting because of how many psychopaths there are on Pandora. But now, let's go to the most important topic I wanted to talk about. Jack Black as Claptrap. You see, with Jack Black, usually with a lot of his roles, he just kind of plays himself, which I don't mind. I'm a huge fan of Jack Black. But with things like him playing Bowser, he did fantastic with that, and he did the same thing playing as Claptrap. He was able to give off the sense to not the people around him, but the people in the audience noticed that Claptrap was kind of a nuisance. But at the same time, his wacky ideas just worked just enough. And it was convincing. It was very convincing, the character that he played. Because, honestly, I'm not afraid to admit it, I'm a big fan of Claptrap. Obviously, his voice wasn't exactly like Claptrap's, but I still think it was close enough just to play it. And I'm losing my train of thought, so let's just move on over to Lilith. And Lilith, okay, so obviously, she looks incredibly old. Of course she's old, it's Cate Blanchett. And obviously, at first glance, you notice she does not have her tattoos. But luckily, they do end up giving her the Firehawk aspects. She is still the same stubborn but lovable jerk that Lilith always was in the games. And not to mention incredibly badass. I especially love the three-barrel pistol she was using. Really nice, really nice. Um, dude, I like this movie. I'm you know I've already come up with the title right now, and you'll probably you'll probably be able to see the title, and that's probably the reason why you clicked on the video. But now let's get into the lore aspect. So, with the lore, I just wanted to say they had me in the first half. I went into this movie thinking that it was going to be great. I knew that all these people were really talented and I believed in their skill sets, and I wanted to be the minority that won the battle. And I'm going to say I did. So, spoilers ahead. Okay. So, when it came to Tiny Tina being exposed as a siren, that pissed me off immediately. I was hoping they wouldn't do it, and they did it. But luckily for me, it was a dupe the entire fucking time. Because the entire time, it was Lilith. And fans of the series obviously know that Lilith is a siren. She was in the first game, she was in the second game, she was even I can't remember if she was in the prequel, but I'm pretty sure she was a siren. If not the siren, the Firehawk, the goddess of fire. And speaking of fire, lighting psychos on fire, that's pretty dope. But back to it. I'm glad that when Lilith got her siren powers, she got the tattoos. And then finally, when she got her ass kicked by Atlas, her eyes finally lit up. Sure, they didn't stay lit up afterwards, but I suppose it just kind of matters with the whole whether the powers are activated, which obviously they were. I liked a lot of the movie, but what I could not stand was what they did with Tina. They made you think that they were going to ruin the movie by making her a siren. And honestly, I don't think that's cool. I don't think that's a cool thing to do. So I'm hoping that in the next movie, if they do end up making one, obviously the movie isn't doing too good right now. I'm hoping that they at least make a post on Twitter or any of their social medias, something to say, hey, these were just lies that Atlas told to Tina to make her believe, or maybe that he was delusional and he thought he was right, and that he was just incredibly wrong, or he had some kind of weird genius plan just to draw out Lilith because he just somehow knew that she was a siren. That's all I ask. But as for the ending of the movie, I loved it. Her just absolutely hulking up, them giving a false sense that they were going to lose, and then her going right back to kicking ass. And then the whole plot twist of Tina getting grabbed by Atlas, and then them going through the portal. Now, obviously, if you know about the vaults, you know that there are monsters in them. So, obviously, there was a Thrasher monster inside of the vault. And I like that little touch. I like that it was a different monster than, of course, the Guardian from Borderlands 2, and that they kind of had Lilith toy with him because she found out that she had all this power in this one space and could just absolutely fucking own this guy. And love the whole little fireworks celebration at the end. Very good. I like how she went up in the air, boom, Firehawk emblem, and then Krieg. Krieg with his fucking outburst. That was fantastic. And honestly, dope movie. And yeah, I'm a glazer. I am a glazer through and through. Okay. Guys, I messed up. So, I wanted to show you guys this New York. Okay, it's the New York Post. Borderlands review: Cate Blanchett video game disaster is the worst movie of the year. This was August 8th. It was August 8th. And I just wanted to say, okay, where is it? I'm gonna find it. Fine, let me Control F, joke. This is the thing that really set me off. Okay, Lilith finds the bunny-eared girl named Tiny Tina, Ariana, who I bet misses her Barbie press tour right about now. Oh, brother, who says, "Miss Lilith, can you grab my Badonka donk?" A stupid joke she's referencing to a toy rabbit. Tiny Tina, crybaby on an airplane annoying. Could be the key to opening the vault, which contains a vague weapon, I think. To unearth the lost sort of treasure, the pair join with Roland, Dr. Tannis, a scientist, a psycho named Krieg, and Claptrap, the irksome robot who is in a competition with Tiny Tina to cause the most movie ticket refunds. So it's the exact opposite of what I was doing. So this is not glazing. This is absolutely smashing it because they clearly have never played the games. If they haven't played the games, they clearly don't understand the humor because the rabbit's name is Badonka donk. It's always been Badonka donk, especially if you've done the Borderlands 2 quest where you get the bombs to blow up the train. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It just pissed me off so much. I had to comment on it. New York Post, what a joke. That's it. Disclaimer. These videos are for entertainment and educational purposes only. No offense is intended towards any individual. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commenting, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.